So here we are, unexpectedly in Singapore. I don't like this at all. And that's where the captain of the slide failed miserably. Today we are flying the national airline of Bangladesh, and instead of landing in Malaysia, we somehow ended up in Singapore. And I will show you how poorly the airline handled the whole issue. From great crew to a confused airline captain and average food, this is going to be quite of an aviation adventure. Let's fly! My trip started early afternoon in Dhaka, and on my way to the airport I was happy to see the new terminal almost being ready, knowing that the old one is one of the worst in Asia. The new terminal is due to open in October 2024. I can't wait to see it. But now we still have to stick to the old one.
So guys, and here we are. This is the old airport, soon to be replaced by the new terminal, $1 billion project. It looks pretty amazing, it looks pretty promising, but today we're still departing from the old one, flying the national carrier of Bangladesh, Biman, to Malaysia. So let's head inside and check in for our flight on a 737. Trying to figure out whether there is a business class check-in line as well. Here it says economy, KL. Let's check the other side. Excuse me. Is there a business class check-in for Kuala Lumpur as well? Yeah. Yeah. Just the one bag. Yeah.
After immigration, after Kuala.
The lounge is, yeah? All right. So all checked in for our flight to KL. Let's say Biman isn't particularly known for its ground handling. However, got my lounge invitation as well. Let's see how much it has changed since 2018. So let's go there. So we're gonna head to the Muslin Lounge, which is the Biman lounge here. The last time I went there was in 2018 and it was absolute garbage. So let's see how much or if it has improved in the past years at all. So let's go there.
So guys, and here we are. Welcome back to the Biman Bangladesh Business Class Lounge after 7 years. And I remember back in the days there was one guy here. He was the receptionist, he was the barista, he was the waiter, he was the chef. He was just running the entire lounge by himself. What a legend. And the place was really run down back in the days, but you can see they have ramped up everything. They renovated it. It looks pretty awesome. Now they have heaps of staff as well, which is really kind of really lovely. Also the buffet has improved a lot, so it's quite a improvement to my last visit, and I can't wait to see what Biman Bangladesh comes up at the new terminal. I'm sure they're gonna have a new flagship lounge, and I'm sure it's gonna be quite of a change, quite of a game changer for the airline. And yeah, I hope I'm going to be back once Terminal 3, once it opens, because it looks pretty awesome from the outside. So, and it's a big moment for the country as well. So I hope to be back. So that was my visit to the Biman Lounge. Solid, very good. Now let's head to the gate. So, and here we are. I made it to the gate 737-800, which is the backbone of Biman's regional operation. I gotta be honest, I traveled that exact plane in economy class 2019. It was a mess. It was so old, it was falling apart, and it was full of mosquitoes. I remember there was more mosquitoes on board than passengers. But let's see how it goes today. and what we can expect on this flight, which I think takes 3.5 hours to KL. But actually pretty excited to be back on Biman, Bangladesh. I think I was the very first like airline reviewer vlogger like featured a new Dreamliner, because back then nobody really wanted to go to these countries. But the video literally went viral. It had like 3 million views, I think. It was very popular. And then other my fellow colleagues saw like, wow, actually that's pretty cool. Let's go and feature it as well. So I feel like I put Biman, Bangladesh on the map. You're welcome. But now they really appreciate when foreigners come here and feature their achievements, because it's massive. You know, they got a brand new fleet, all those Dreamliners, 777, impressive renewal, and I think they're happy that it's been recognized, and that's why we're here. First we recognize them, and celebrate their achievements, and now we hold them accountable, because now they play with the big boys. Nah? They're on par with the Western airlines, with all the world-class airlines. So now we hold them accountable for their promises and for their performance. So let's get on board this 737.
Hello sir, good evening.
So guys, and here we are. Welcome aboard the D737-800 of Biman, Bangladesh. It looks a lot better than I expected it to be, especially after that shocking flight I had a few years back, because back then the cabin was an absolute nightmare. Like everything was broken. It was really, really old. And right now, that looks pretty awesome. It's like a 2-2 configuration of 12 seats in total. There's even in-flight entertainment. It's comfortable. It looks clean. Crew is pretty nice. But with Biman Bangladesh crew, there's always two types of crew, I was told. There's the Biman aunties, the ones that have been with the company for like 30 or 40 years. They always look very grumpy and they can't be bothered. And then you have the young ones, which are usually really friendly, really engaging, and that's the same here on the slide. So I'm very much looking forward to see what we get to eat, because on Biman Bangladesh I always had one dish in all those years, and that was biryani. So I think we might have biryani once again on this flight. I wouldn't mind it, but yeah, it's nice to be back on Biman Bangladesh. So let's fly to KL. That's very nice. Thank you. Joy, how are you?
I'm a big fan of you,
Thank you, thank you.
I'm following like after 2018 you reviewed the 787.
Yeah. I remember that. That's a long time ago.
Last time like 22. You had a meetup in the
2019, 2019.
there was a
when I was
meetup
like
in the
flying.
Bali.
Yeah. I remember that. Like, right. That's what I was like.
But I couldn't meet you. I was in a flight, so that's why.
Now I'm here.
I'm so surprised to see you.
That's very nice of you. I remember your name, Joy. Very nice. That's a good name to have. How long have you been with Biman?
Like 4 years.
4 years? Oh, nice. You like it?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah. Excited for the new airport?
Yeah. But you know.
I will be back for the opening, hopefully. Inshallah.
Yeah.
With a slight delay, we were pushed back and made our way to the runway. A lot of you guys have asked about the gear that I use to film my videos, so I put together a comprehensive list on my website. You can find the link in the description box below. Also, don't forget to watch last week's video featuring the Beast of Bangladesh, the world's most densely populated plane. So guys, we are 30 minutes into the flight. I have a hot meal in front of me. I just had the starter, which was a prawn salad, and now I have fish and potatoes. It looks very dull. Generally, when you fly on Biman Bangladesh, you should have their biryani, which they claim to be the best in the world. But I just spent 4 days in Bangladesh. I had enough biryani, and I personally, I had biryani twice on Biman, personally. And I might be a very isolated opinion, and I don't think many can compare, but the best biryani I've ever had was on Ariana Afghan the national airline of Afghanistan. Damn, that biryani was so good, and I still have very fond memories of this flight. So if you think Biman is the biryani champion, so be it, but I would certainly disagree. However, let's dig in now and let's see what it tastes like. But I don't know why, but it smells really, really bad. The crew is really lovely. That's one of the perks here. And speaking of bad smell, when I unwrapped that blanket, oh my god, it smelled so bad as well. Alright, let's not talk about bad smell. Let's try to enjoy this meal instead. Yeah, as expected, food was very, very, very average. What is not average on Biman is the tableware. And you guys probably know how much I adore or how obsessed I am with tableware on airlines, especially when it has the logo in there. But Biman's is very, very special. And I remember like 7 years ago when I flew the Dreamliner, I stole one of the salt shakers with the Biman logo on it, as you can see right here. And I still have it at my place. So fond memories, very fond memories. And I think this is something where they can still learn a lot in terms of service. The cabin manager, the Biman auntie, came and just dropped the dessert. And what you usually do when you, deliver dessert is you ask whether you want to have a coffee or tea or something with it. But yeah, she literally just tried to find some room here on my tray and just drop this stuff. So it's little things here and there where you can really tell that, and also from my experience, they aren't service champions, they're nice, but they aren't as service trained. I think this is something where Biman really can pick up and improve. We started our descent into Cahill. A bit of room of improvement, and for that price tag, what did I pay? $550 US, which is quite a lot. Probably not justified, 100% not for what you get. It's also a dry airline, you don't get any booze, you don't get anything to drink, so I think $350 max would have been justified for what it is. But yeah, I hope they improve on these little things here and there. That's what I always appreciate about flying Biman. Biman is a very unique airline, and it's always a joy for an F-geek like me, and I'm sure a lot of other F-geeks would probably agree that they are fantastic. And Biman Bangladesh was also the last airline in the world to operate, or last to retire the DC-10, which is also a pretty amazing story. The DC-10 was flying with Biman until 2014, I think, going through some really heavy turbulences, but I guess it's the new norm. Awesome. Joy, just real quick, thank you so much for your support for the past 7 years and being a part of my journey, and it's nice that you watch my videos. I hope you learned a thing or two.
Yes, I learned a lot of things, and thanks for flying Biman.
Yeah.
I hope I'll see you in maybe next year.
I hope so. We'll find an occasion, but yeah, thanks for being part of my journey. It really means a lot to me.
Thank you so much.
And I hope that next time I'll be on the flight, you be a cabin manager. Inshallah. Or pilot. You got
Thank
this.
you so much.
Thank you, John.
Okay. I'm
Awesome.
coming.
All right. So this is very strange. We're not descending, and all of a sudden the flight map says we're flying to JB, like Johor Bahru, which is just next to Singapore, and it says estimated arrival time 3 a.m. Something is going on. We either getting diverted, and we haven't been told yet, or the map is just being weird, but we're not descending. I don't need this because I'm flying to Baghdad tomorrow. It's a very early start, I don't want to spend all night on a bus or a taxi from JB back to KL. No, not even JB. It says Singapore now. Why? What's going on? And why are we not descending? I don't like this at all. Without any communication of the pilot and the crew, we started our descent into Singapore, and I found that highly unprofessional to keep your passengers in the dark. Not could that possibly start panic around the passengers, but it's also the right thing to do to keep your passengers informed about what's going on. Being kept in the dark about these things and a possible technical issue or whatever reason doesn't make you feel good. I've been diverted in the past and it was always properly communicated. So here we are, unexpectedly in Singapore. And we're not even at any of the terminals. We are really in the far, far corner at a remote gate of the airport, as you can see. So, I don't know. To me, this seems very poorly managed because there's a lot of people here on board who probably have someone waiting in KL at the airport, including myself. And you would like to contact them and say, hey, due to bad weather, we are diverted and we're in Singapore now. So I don't know, it's all a bit poorly managed here. That's the least thing that it could have done, like have us dock at some of the jet bridges at the terminal, get some Wi-Fi, have people contact their loved ones or whatever. And now here we are in the very, very far corner of Changi Airport. So I don't know what's gonna happen. They just put a jet bridge here, but yeah, not sure how this is gonna continue. But I've been diverted a few times, and yeah, I think there's police now coming on board as well. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. So you know what they said when we diverted? They said, oh, there was like 10-15 other planes that had to go to Singapore. But guess what? I see none. At least not in this very remote corner of the airport. So if they're really here, they're either somewhere else, at the jet bridges, at the terminals, or it never happened, or it smells racism. Because I wouldn't be surprised to be like, oh, all the other nice airlines, we send them to terminals, give them proper treatment, but hey, this plane of Bangladeshi workers, let's have it far, far away from the rest of the operation. Not gonna accuse anyone, but maybe. Could be. Also could not be. I'm sure we'll find out. So we spent a good 2 hours on the ground here in Singapore, and not once did the captain make an announcement, update people on anything, whether we are going to leave, when we are going to leave. Even when we had that whole issue in the sky, he would not make an announcement in English, only in Bengali. So yeah, really poor management from the airline side as well, because there's a lot of people sitting here who have no clue where we're going, how long are we going to stay here, no way to contact anyone outside the plane. So yeah, that was not really well done, Biman, especially from the captain's side. Communication is everything, especially when you have 100 passengers in the back, and that's where the captain of the slide failed miserably. So we removed the jet bridge, got the cabin ready, armed the doors, got ready for pushback, and then God knows what happened. We disabled the slides and have the jet bridge again and the doors open. So I don't know what it is now, but it all seems like a big case of mismanagement here. And it's really, really annoying. And still yet, not a single word from the captain. You know, these things can happen. You can't influence the weather. We had to divert to Singapore. All cool, like safety first. But what you can do as an airline, and especially as a captain, is communicate the issue, you know, and talk to your passengers. Alright, okay. Thanks for the update, though. But you know, this is the pilot's job to communicate this with. I haven't heard anything, you know, nobody knows what's going on, right? Not a single word from the pilot, like no updates, nobody knows what's happening, you know. So apparently the pilot filed the wrong flight plan, and we still don't know when we get to KL. After almost 4 hours on the ground without any communication from the flight deck, we then finally pushed back. I went to the galley to get updates from the crew, and if I wouldn't have done so, I would still be clueless about what happened today. I think the lesson to take away from all this is to be clear and honest with your passengers and to inform them constantly with updates about the situation, as any great airline would do. The whole issue could have dealt with in a better manner, and I hope the airline can work on its crisis management. And here we are after 2 takeoffs and 2 landings and a little diversion to Singapore. 3 hours on the ground there. We finally made it to our destination, KL. Thank you, bye bye, bye bye. So I had over, I'd say 50, 60 arrivals in KL, but this is pretty new. Now they have buses, dedicated buses for first class and business class passengers taking you to the arrival hall, because usually it's the train, which might be under construction as it seems like, but yeah, they have like a new system in place, it seems. But now I see the train tracks and I see that there's some construction going on, so perhaps it's just temporarily, but yeah, at least they separate the buses by business class and economy. I'm also so tired, so sleepy. In less than 24 hours I have to be back at the airport, because I'm flying to Baghdad tomorrow on Iraqi Airways 787 Dreamliner. So this adventure finally comes to an end. Just waiting for my bag. First bags arrive in 2 minutes and 22 seconds, and then I will head to the hotel. This is it from my side. I'll be back here in less than 24 hours to fly Iraqi Airways on their brand new 787 Dreamliner to Baghdad. Then we're going to take a road trip from Baghdad to Mosul, and then I'll be flying Fly Air Beal. So lots of cool adventures coming, hopefully without diversions. I'm sure they could have handled it a little bit better, but I'm glad that I finally made it here, because I feel sorry for the crew. They still have to operate the flight back now 4 hours, and the passengers there have been waiting for 5 hours, 6 hours, even more to go on this flight. So they're not going to be in the best mood either. Yeah, but guys, this is it. If you want to have some extra perks, check out my Patreon link, and yeah, wherever you're off to, have a safe trip.